live thing. Last time I tried this, didn't have very good reception. Let's hope people jump on and we'll get into the updates on the Astro. We have some videos put together that I'm going to be uploading pretty soon, catching everyone. But I like to toss in a little live feed every once in a while. So, what's up? How is the video? Hopefully, have a better live video than we did last time. If you guys let me know if you're getting good reception, then we'll continue on with the video. If not, then I'm probably just gonna quit. So let me know if you guys are seeing clear and good video. All right, sweet. Because last time we had to fight it a lot, so today it seems like I got better signal. So anyway, since we got signal right now, let's use it and we'll check out the van. So right now we got the broken windshield. Yeah, if it's a little choppy, that makes me nervous, but we're gonna go with it for a few minutes at least. Broken windshield. Did that the other day, and I wanted to explain why that happened, because I know why it happened, because I jumped the gun on it. But so we got our glass all over the place, and in about an hour the glass guys should be here to pull this guy out and put a new one in. We actually had them drop it off at Cartronics this morning, a local stereo place, and they put tint on it on the front and back side of the glass, so that next time when we break it, it's not gonna, create a mess all over everything inside my dash and on the ground here. So that's all glass. Here is the box right now. We got the 418s set up in there. I think I'll try to go around the other side and show you. We got the port roundovers put on. We've made a lot of progress in testing. This is about maybe a week and a half into testing now, and it's doing pretty good. It's getting there. You can see I haven't done anything inside this box whatsoever, if you can see that. So mostly we're just getting the cab kind of situated and working on the port for the most part. And the floor is all, we finally got the liner on the floor. I don't have a headliner in yet, and you can see I don't have all the deadener on yet, so it's just it's a work in progress on that. So we got to get the roof together and continue work on this box. But pretty happy with the results. It does over 164 on a little under 14,000 watts, so it's about as high up as I took it, and then that's what did the windshield in. Windshield was already broke partially, so I wasn't surprised, and I burped it at it was about 90 degrees outside, and then the glass was very warm, and when you get hot windshields, they'll typically blow out pretty easily. So I should have waited until the evening or something, but it took a lot of hits. I probably hit this like 6 or 7 dozen times since I put the build together, so it's been taking a lot of abuse, and we've just been getting the build louder, and I haven't hardly turned it up yet. I mean, like I said, we're working under 15,000 watts still, and we have 40 right now, and we'll have 80,000 later on into the season. So I mean, there's a lot of room to grow, and I haven't touched the box yet. The only thing I've done is work on the port, and I recessed the subs, and I get a lot of questions on that. And it looks like some of you guys just asked, but I'm experimenting right now with the loading. Basically, these two subs on the passenger side are closer to where the mic goes on the windshield than the ones on the driver's side. I want to equalize their distance to the mic. Therefore, I set these ones farther away to kind of make them the same. So if you do the measurements, the travel distance to the glass becomes more similar between them now. And then also on the back side of the cone, the wavelength equalizes slightly more. So that's just something we've been playing with. It didn't really increase the score, but it dropped the power somewhat, so it became more efficient, which is always a good thing. It changed the way those two speakers are loading to where my amplifiers are seeing a different load box rise, essentially, because there's 1 amp per sub right now, so that I can individually see what each sub is doing. So that was one thing. These 2 outside subs are getting more power than the 2 inside subs, even though the amps are set exactly the same. It's just really the geometry of the box, and I'm going to start working next week on combating that with putting an angle in the back, and that's going to help kind of move the wave around and equalize the wave from each side, so the drivers and passengers, subs. So there's a lot of technicals in here, and it's doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy. It's not as loud as I'd like it to be. Obviously, I'm barely into testing. I think getting a new windshield in and getting better, cooler weather. We're supposed to have a cool trend come through next week. Like today, it's like literally 90 degrees out here, and we're in Northern California. It's like, it's April. So it's pretty crazy that it's this hot already, but we're dealing with it. So that's all the result was of the heat there. So pretty awesome. Tommy big time. Just sent $1, it looks like. That's cool. I didn't know that was a thing. I guess you guys can donate to the channel, apparently. I didn't know I had that going on here, but that's really awesome if that's what that is right there. Thank you for the support, guys. Hopefully the videos come in through pretty clear for you. If not, I will obviously upload a edited video of all the progress I made. If you guys notice, the van has actually moved since last time you saw it. We had it over there, and I drove it this morning over here, and it drives pretty well. And for those of you who don't think that's a big accomplishment, go look at the old videos and check it out. We got concrete in this thing. There's concrete, and you can see there's still moisture pulling out of it. And there's been no cracking on the box so far. I think, okay, let me clarify. There is cracking right here. This cement right here is only like a 1/2 inch thick. This is where my wood comes up to on my rear form. And this is the real pour starting from here out. So that crack is literally because it's too thin, and I don't care. The body of it over here, there's no cracks whatsoever. So it's been doing really good. And we're very deep into the 160s range already with the van. So if you don't believe me on the cracking up there, go check out the old videos and you'll see, if I open the back, where my back wall comes up, I pretty much just brought the wood up to almost the top of the roof. Let's see, open this back here. And that's just kind of a little bit of extra cement that terminated. So there's the back, and you see where the spray foam is. It's basically where that crack ended up. So we've got some equipment back here. I got all my test equipment. The 410Ks are fully wired now, so it's pretty exciting. But you know, liking, sharing, subscribing, donating, whatever you guys do, I never ask for donation. I've never really liked asking for such things because I just don't believe like that. But anything you guys do on the channel helps, because I do monetize, and so if you sometimes see a commercial pop up, it you know, it's just kind of paying back the time I put in to trying to share this with you guys, because I typically wouldn't share so much if it weren't for YouTube. I would just do my thing regardless. And so that's pretty awesome. I appreciate that little donation from Tommy. So I'll make sure everybody knows it was you. So let me look at some of you guys' questions while I'm thinking about it. Hopefully you still got good live feed and you can hear me well. So pretty slick. It'll help with the, yeah. So that helps that bit. Yeah, that's basically cancellation. You want to align the and the back of the cone, so in turn it gets louder, hopefully. And I'm going to be moving them around and testing things, so it's going to be a lot of work. But what did it meter to start? So this is what I was going to go over in the next video. For the non-believers in concrete, people were like just flipping out that I did concrete all over social media, and it is crazy. But like, it's freaking solid. It's so awesome. But back on subject, the non-believers were like, that is a waste of time. This is a car audio fail. I had comments coming in from places, and it was crazy. And so I did a direct comparison before and after concrete, and I'll have this really detailed in the next video. But I first burped it at, it did a 150, 57 something, 157, like 57.4, I don't remember. And it took like probably 10,000 or 11,000 watts, and it was like really pitiful, and I was not happy. It was peaking way low, like 52, 53 hertz, and I was like, what the hell? Like, this whole build's like a waste of time. And I went ahead, we did the concrete the very next day, and I actually had broke the windshield that day when I tested it at 157, 158, I don't remember. And it cracked the windshield. I'm like, well, number one, I know my frequency is way off because it's way too low. These SPL builds don't want to peak down at like 50 hertz. If you guys have ever experienced SPL builds, they're like, the best ones are doing up near 60 through 70 hertz, you know? And so I knew the things were off. I figured the box was too big, tuned too low, even though that port's huge, you know? I put the concrete in the next day and we let it set up for about a week. And that week later I tested it and it was doing right out the gate. I think it gained 1.9 decibels. So about a 2 dB gain without changing anything. And what also happened was it completely changed the frequency at which the enclosure was peaking. It wasn't peaking at 52 hertz anymore. It was peaking up closer to 67. So it more than 10 hertz difference just from stiffening up the enclosure, and almost 2 decibels, and it was under 10,000 watts. So it picked up huge for the power and the score, just putting the concrete in there. So it totally changed the environment of the cab, the box, everything changed immediately, and I never touched any of it. So if you guys just heard what I was talking about, basically before the concrete, I did a 157 on like 11,000 watts or so. I might be wrong. I have to check on my notes and, you know, go check the next video. But basically a 157 versus like a 159, or it was like a 59.4 or something like that and some change. So it was basically 2 decibels, just 2 decibels. And at that range, that's a lot. And I know it translates even more when I'm up in power. So like right now that it's doing mid 60s on fairly low power, I bet it wouldn't be doing even near that without the concrete. So definitely was a good move when I did concrete. And hopefully I don't lose my signal by going in here, but I wanted to knock on the wall. I mean, it is so solid. There's no resonance. I mean, it's just so solid. It's really awesome. But get a view of the back if it's still open now. Today we're waiting on the windshield, guys, so we gotta get that replaced. And 164.3 was what broke the windshield, and I've actually had it a little louder than that at a different frequency. So there's our back for those of you who just checked in. 4 DC 10Ks on 20 banks of caps, and we just got another 20 banks from Andrew McCain, so he just shipped those, and we got assembled them, and well, 40 banks. And then Bobby Gately did some work for us, and we have another bank of capacitors that's going to go under hood in a really cool little box, so we'll see that in the next video. But where was I? I guess I was going on about the windshield again. So it was hot out, it was already broken, and I believe that my port roundovers forced my frequency down a little bit, and I was getting back close to the dangerous range of where the resonance of the window is. And so being that low in frequency basically just broke the windshield easily, especially in the heat. So my goal is to bring the frequency back up and stop having the windshields go so fast. I think this one wasn't really accurate because it was already broke. So I think it can be a lot louder before breaking with a fresh windshield. So there's some work to do. And shrinking the box is my next goal. I gotta shrink that box, get my frequency back up. Peaking around 167 hertz, I was doing 164s pretty easily and never even messing with the windshield. It didn't even care. Getting down towards like 63, 64 hertz where I was yesterday, it just destroyed the windshield instantly. So definitely a frequency game with these things. And I also have to find the frequency of the cab. So I might get stuck breaking windshields, I might not, I don't really know yet. It's all gonna depend on where it goes, but let's see. Yeah, thanks. The back is not even near finished. It just I've stopped running out. I stopped putting time into it because I wanted to get the testing out of the way, because Craig is taking the van away from me next week, because we're gonna get the suspension worked on some more. It rolls, but it is like really tucked in there. And then the back I have blocked up, so it needs more leaves. And we kind of figured for that, but we got some guys in Sacramento that are gonna do custom coils and custom leaves and add to our leaf pack and replace our coil for us. So we're definitely gonna get the van lifted back up. And then the week after that, he's taking it in for the wrap. I just finished the design on the wrap, and I sent it over to the wrap company, and they're gonna, refine my design and make it work for them. And then he's gonna bring it over there. And then after the wrap is done, it's time to go to our first show, NorCal versus SoCal. And I won't be attending that, but Craig will be. So I apologize to everybody who's gonna be there, who wanted to check out the Jeep. I have just other engagements. I'm basically graduating college the same day, and it's like really unfortunate it had to be that day. But the van's gonna be there, and I hope it represents really well. And I don't know what it's gonna do. I haven't turned it up yet. We haven't had a good run with the windshield yet. So the new windshield going in should definitely be a big deal for us. And then shrinking the box, I think, is gonna be a big deal with the angle in the back, like I was talking about. So those are a lot of big steps to take before it's ready. But let's see. Yeah, I watch Derek's videos all the time. Derek's a cool dude. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'm getting a lot of like people trying to compare our builds and compare the brands, and it's just I don't care for any of that hoopla. That's bullshit. If you guys want to look at his build, go look at his build, but this is my build. Totally different. As you can see, it's a flat wall, and we just happened to be in the same class. It wasn't like we were going after anybody. We chose to do this like a half a year ago or so, and he built faster, and he's got some subs to test, and this is the only set we've really gotten to play with yet. So no skin off my back. If he's louder, that's cool. We're doing our own thing. Nobody out here in the West has built anything like this, and so I figured it was my turn to jump on and tackle it. So this is really just to reach a personal goal, and if we happen to win, I'm gonna move back up towards the house. My LTE is working anymore. We'll finish talking about the Jeep in this video, I guess. What'll be nice is getting the van to move again up this way so I can be on my internet, but sucks to suck. So like I said, no hard feelings with Derek. I don't know him personally. I've talked to him a couple times, and it wasn't like we planned to go after anything at the same time. It just was coincidence. And he's got a good team at his disposal, and he's got tons of knowledge at his disposal. And this is my first time getting up to loudness. So back looking at the Jeep, you can see it is a mess. We have the dash pulled out. We have trims out. We have so funny thing. If I open the back, funny thing. So even back here, we got stuff going on. Funny thing is the last video you guys just saw, or if you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. I went to the event Carnival in Alameda, California last weekend, and I demoed the hell out of this thing. I literally was playing it like hours at a time. I didn't get out. The judge was even like, "What the heck are you doing?" Played it all day long, nonstop, and nothing went wrong. Absolutely nothing, except someone flipped the switch on my top amp to slave instead of master, and shut the amp off, and I had two subs not playing, and I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. So somebody in the audience at some point during the day who was checking out the car was touching my stuff, and that's pretty much a no-no. That's uncalled for. So I mean, I never figured out who it was, but that's pretty dirty, pretty low balling. You don't touch people's equipment. I don't care who you are. So that was kind of weird. But then other than that, there was nothing wrong during the whole day. Everything was great. My doors survived. And then I was on my way home, And I wasn't really playing it, but I had the mids and highs on, just kind of listening. And all of a sudden I got crazy alternator noise. Like, it was the craziest, loudest noise I've ever heard, squealing. And I went the next day and I took everything apart. And I discovered my RCA cable for my subs, the main cable that comes to the back here, has a short and it's grounding out somewhere. And it took me several hours to figure that out. And trying a new cable out fixed the problem, but now I need to run a cable somehow through the vehicle. And that means going bad signal again. I'm by the Wi-Fi. It bugs me. That's what I get for living out in the middle of nowhere. So hopefully you guys are still listening and you can still see. Always having connection issues. It's like the SIM card in my phone's bad or something. I don't know. But you know, so everything kind of just went pretty well that day. I beat my national record run, and it was just on the way home, all this stuff all of a sudden. Our RCA cable grounded out. I have no idea where. I can't find that, but hopefully when I pull it all the way out of the vehicle, I'll discover where it went wrong. But you can see I was playing with connections here, and I have a spare RCA that's ran through the vehicle, but it's an old crappy style, and I don't think I want to run it, but it fixed the problem. So something with that RCA backfed into this deck, and then it fed through all the speakers. So every single speaker, including subwoofers, had a alternator whine, and it came from nowhere. I guess it was just the wire got chafed or something happened. But so I got to fix that. And then I actually broke a basket on one of the subs during one of the demos, and I didn't know it until I got home the next day. And so I got to pull it out, and broken basket pretty much sucks because you can't repair the parts or anything. You guys got to replace the speaker. So we'll be replacing that part on the speaker. I got spare parts, and then that'll be back together. And then we'll be ready to go to some other event in the future. But I think I'm going to call this the end to the live video today. Appreciate you guys and all your support. I think the Astro's getting there. We're going to get the windshield put in it today, and we'll upload a video pretty quickly and keep you updated on what it's actually doing in the meter and stuff. And then we're going to go get it wrapped and send it off to its first show, and hopefully Craig sets some new records for the West Coast or something with it. But that was a little update with the Astro, a little update with the Jeep. I would go back to the Astro, but I think my internet connection's pretty lame, so I'm not going to be able to get away with it probably today. But appreciate all the comments. I'll try to answer these questions in the next video if I can. I'm just kind of running short on time today, and I wanted to just give an update. But wish me luck. I got to get the Jeep back together, and I got to get the Astro ready, and he's taking it next week, so we got a lot to catch up on. So anyway, guys, like, subscribe, comment. I really appreciate the support. I'm gonna do my best to ignore the naysayers, because I know I got a good fan base out there, and you guys really make it up to me. So when you put good comments in there, it makes it worthwhile to keep uploading and keep things current with you guys, because you get distracted by the haters and the people who don't support you. It slows you down, and I don't want to be distracted by them. So I'm going to work on that. But in the meantime, we're going to send you off, and pay attention for the next video.